Hashtag crypto trading and welcome. This will be an educational style video on trading and mainly portfolio management. Trying to do the best I can to help out for diversified portfolios, but more importantly, what it takes to get your portfolio to grow higher, the best that you possibly can. Diversification, I think, helps a lot. Oh, you can go with just one coin, maybe Bitcoin. I think it'll do fine, but I believe and I know because I've experienced it. It's extremely easy to outperform a Bitcoin market that is kicking ass like no other. So therefore, let's go over some different things and let's start this video. And we'll start off by just showing the top 45 coins on the market cap. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, so on and so forth. So one strategy is to just get into a whole bunch of different ones. We want to understand a little bit about each one. The more you know, the better you're going to do. With that being said, if you just put the same value in each one and let it ride, you're probably going to do very, very good, because when you have situations when three out of four out of five coins do very well, well, the losses are going to be nothing compared to your gains. But then for situations like, say, Ripple, this is a code for me that I would think the best way of playing it is to try to let the thing crash so hard, put a buy order in at a low price, and then try to get it from there. But you have so many of the good staples like Bitcoin. I think Ethereum, Litecoin, ETC, NEM, Dash. I really don't know much about IOTA. It's pretty new. BitShares I'm not too familiar with. Stratus, a little bit of a gamble. Monero is good. Zcash, I think, is good. Bitcoin, I think, might be pretty good too. I think it's a little expensive now, but that's the key as far as knowing how, and I'm going to talk about this in a bit, about buying strategies. Is it time to just buy now? Do you buy everything you want for that coin now? At what prices do you want to buy it at a cheaper level? So on and so forth. What setups are you looking for? Things like that. Waves, I think Waves is pretty good. A Golem, I'm a little bit iffy on GNT. Steam, I think Steam's pretty decent. Sia Coin, I think's got some good potential. Stellar's pretty decent. Doggy, I think Doggy's definitely playable. BitConnect, don't know much about that. And then as you start to go down the list, it gets weaker and weaker. Tether, this is something that's like the US dollar. So as a trader, when you want to get out of Bitcoins or cryptos, for me, this is the only thing I personally know how or what to get into. This is it. I'm waiting and hoping it's easy for me to get into a crypto that trades like this into gold and silver, where, okay, I want out of cryptocurrencies, but I want to get into gold and silver if I can over the US dollar, because there's going to be times where if you think these cryptos are going to fall, just sell into the Tether. And then if you're right, as good traders will be more times than not, okay, so I was right. A good thing I saved, I put so much of my Bitcoins and maybe other coins into the Tether, and now I can get it back after I was right. There's situations like that, but sometimes I'm thinking, okay, I want to do that, but I like the trend gold is having, or the trend silver is having, and I'd like to get into that. So I hear that those cryptos are coming. Something I want to look into, because Veritasium, number 37. This is something I've been wanting to get for a long, long, long time, and I've gotten nothing of it. All I do is just play on the exchanges. So all these types of websites where you do these ICOs and stuff like that, I don't really know much about that. And I really think I should, but I don't even know how to buy this right now, so I have absolutely no exposure to it. But having a bunch of these different codes works out, and there's so many other ones. So I think a key one is you put the base ones in, and the ones you know are good are the ones that you like. There's going to be some that are ranked 80th and 100th and 200th that are really good because they're that low, because they might be cheap. And if you know something that it's a good play, then throw it within your mix, because having 30, 40, 50 different tokens on your portfolio, I think, is a good strategy. But let's start off with an easy balanced portfolio. This I think is how I would manage or talk to somebody about people who want to spend very little time within it. They're definitely not even a day trader, not even close. Not to the point that they don't even want to do any intermediate term trading. So for this, I would buy around the same amount for each code and buy at market price. You may scale some higher, lower, some of the coins in value for certain reasons. Maybe play a bit more of Dash or Ethereum, or maybe I want to get a bit of something like Ripple, but it's so scary. I'm going to only put, maybe I'm putting 10% of a Bitcoin on each one, but I'm only going to put 3% on this one. I like this one. Let's go 14%. Oh, this one's great. Let's go 20. Oh, that one's okay, but not great. Let's go 7% on this one. So scaling them in those reasons, nothing wrong with doing that. And having a few codes gives you a little diversification, and thus you're apt to wilder swings. So if you only have, say, Bitcoin and maybe this code, and that code, and that's it. Well, if they don't do so well, you might not be liking how the things are moving. And at the same point, you might be having huge, massive gains. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go all in on these 3 coins. One being Bitcoin. Oh, it goes up from point A to point B. It triples. Oh, good job. How did coin B do against Bitcoin? Yeah, 950%. Not so great. The other one went up 45 times, though. Yeah, if you get lucky enough to get that, and those are your codes, well, congratulations to you. But that's how the diversification, or how the swings can work on both sides. Having a very heavy code-based portfolio gives you great diversification at the cost of more time needed in portfolio management. Because when you start off, it can take a while, maybe even a full weekend, if you're really trying to lock in 100 codes, especially if you do more than a basic strategy in buying. It can take a while. But for me, I don't care how long-term of a trader you are. Anyone I talk to about an investing strategy will hear it all day from me to sell and move funds. I mean, long-term traders don't play for small gains of 40 to 50%. No, but when the gains are there, why aren't you taking them? And when something doesn't look so good, why aren't you scaling out small or bit or all of a position? And look at this position looking good, time maybe to get in a bit of that. Of course, all positions are good long-term time frame. We're not talking about any day trading setups. No, we're talking about long-term trading setups that come and go. And if you're just doing a basic and you got 40 codes, okay, we'll put sell orders in. You got Dash. Okay, you're buying Dash right now at 60 to something, 70 something. Okay, put a sell order in at, say, 180, 160. That's a long ways away. Maybe even 120, 140. Same thing with every code. Put good sell orders in, large ones. We've seen some sick gains. And then when they happen, and it'll take a while from the start before you'll notice them, but that's fine. But then once you start and you get like 6 days, 2 weeks in, you're going to start to notice if you have 50, 60, 70 codes and you put sell orders in on all of them, that you'll get sell orders practically every day once you have that many codes. And it's also to the point that if you don't check your portfolio too often, it could be a Saturday and you check, oh, Thursday I sold some NXT or something of that nature. And oftentimes that's fine if you wait a few days for the transaction, because you're not a day trader. You don't have the time to do this type of stuff. And there will be some language in this video with like the S word. I don't think I did put the F word in any of these, but I did put the S word. But if you are playing, you don't need to worry about, I was going to say something that had like whatever, but anyway, let's move on to the next section and get away from the basic strategies and get a little bit more intermediate. An original setup to buy. Now, if you just go out and buy market for everything, you can do it in minutes. It's done. It's easy. It's there. You're going to get what you want every single time. When you do that, you're going to be paying some outrageous prices sometimes, and you're going to be losing out on some much better prices. Considering your portfolio demands, you have Bitcoin, which is a must for day traders and even a must for long-term traders. There are times to buy right now at market cost, and there are times to place buy orders. The orders are Bitcoins until the order is executed. Actually, you could get away from Bitcoin because there are Etherum exchanges and such. So you need one base currency. That's really what it comes down to, because when you're buying and selling, you have to buy it and sell it for something. So technically speaking, if you wanted no part of Bitcoin and you wanted to make trades and go into Ether and ETC and Doji and some other ones, you could do it without even trading any Bitcoins. It is possible. So but for the most part, you kind of do have to have it. And again, you have to have one base currency that you're trading in. And for me, my base currency is obviously Bitcoin. And most people, that would be the case as well. So even if I really don't want to, if I want to see a situation where Bitcoin's going down, it's impossible for me to really be out of much of the Bitcoin because I need it to trade. Continuing on, in and out. Sometimes you are heavy in one tokens, and at times you are not as much or out completely. Earlier, about a month or whatever back, I gave a caution video for PivX, a code that I was talking about for quite some time. Made me a bunch of coin, and I have absolutely not a single token of. I actually sold it all a couple days ago. In and out, that's what I do all the time. I got out of over half within that video. I had a whole large position, and I just sold a lot. And then it went down again a bit more, and I sold a bunch more on its next fall. And I was glad I did. I was heavily invested. So getting in something, out of something, when do you want to get out? You want to get out when you got really good profits, or you want to get out when you see a major cautionary sign. Plain and simple. You want to get in when it's a good time to buy and you like the next exposure. There's, to me, two ways of having that happen. One, having some sort of bullish setup appear and then taking advantage of it. Or two, waiting for sellers to actively come in. And when you think the price is down too much, you put your buy order in, and in time it'll execute. Final paragraph, big player, small code. If, say, you invested $25,000 in Dash, that's not that much money, really. And you buy market price, that's not going to move the market a whole heck of a lot. But if you go to a code that has 30 Bitcoin volume in a day, and you'll find out that with $25,000 worth, which is huge for that market, you can move it up like, from 4,000 to 11,000 Satoshi when you buy everything at market cost, because that's how it took like 8 Bitcoins to get there. That's what you spent. It was 8 Bitcoins or whatever it is you spent. That's just terrible. I mean, unless you know, if I got a sell order for a 300% gain, yeah, go ahead and do it. I'll love to take that gain because I'll be able to buy it back at a huge discount within 10 minutes and any time after that as well. But if you ever have to get into some sort of code like that, understand how it needs to be done. Definitely you need to look at the order book, because now you want to find walls because you're a big player. You can take the walls. Maybe you want to make a wall yourself. How about strategic buying times where you decide, okay, I want to get into Dash. Not even Dash. I want to do a weaker code. Code ABC that trades 60 Bitcoin volume a day, and you want to get 10 Bitcoins in. Well, you may have to take a few days for it to happen, because let's just say you want to buy something at 5,000 Satoshi. Well, one easy strategy is you buy it up to 57, 58. Don't do anything. Put some buy orders in. Let the market come down. Let some buy orders go lower, then buy again. And because then you can at least get a better dollar cost average, or really Bitcoin cost average nowadays, when you're doing it. So if you're a big game player, learn how to do it. And if you don't know how, you can pay someone because you can afford it if you're that big a game of a player. Okay, buying and selling, not too short, but not too long. Okay, you want 100 to 200% gains on your codes if you're a long-term player. I get it. But if you see a good short-term play that can gain 40 to 100% in a few days, well, then get in using the best entry strategy you can come up with. Getting as many buy and sell volume for positive gains is huge. So day traders like myself can get a lot of volume in. That's easy for me. And then traders that play weekly orders or play the order game, maybe bigger numbers or however, can get good volume and only be at the computer once a day because you put a whole shitload of buy orders, a whole shitload of sell orders in. And then you come back later, oh, okay, these got executed. Let's go ahead and follow through. A buy order comes in. Okay, let's sell that there. Okay, let's stick another buy order there. Done. Oh, this one's sold. Okay. Now let's sell some more at a little higher. Let's try to buy what we just sold back at this lower price. And that is done. And that's just a way of getting as many plays as you can, because that to me will just get you more gains or ensure that you can outperform the Bitcoin market better than just buying and holding. And even for what it's worth, you got to be getting sells at some point. One of the things, and I didn't write this in, I probably should have, when you buy something, what's your sell plan? And you have to give me an answer. I mean, give yourself that answer, of course. Give me a number. Okay. Say you bought something at 60. I see an area I can sell it at 82. Great. That's a great answer. Or I will be waiting for this particular event. I am buying this. And when CNBC, I think it's going to, when this company announces this event or when this takes place, this should happen with this code to go higher. And then after that, I'm going to sell. Okay. Those are great things. Gold and silver, when the dollar's collapsing, that's when I'm going to liquidate. Great answer. That's my answer for the gold and silver, by the way. But that is the things you need to do as an investor is what's your exit strategy? Because if you can't come up with one, come up with it, why are you buying? Plain and simple. Okay. So then, second one, insane buy and sell orders, and they're important. They are so important, so profitable. And really, it doesn't cost anything to do it other than your time and your management of such. And of course, having your Bitcoins used in there. But if you wanted to hold so much Bitcoin, then the best way to do it is through buy orders. And let's hypothetically assume every single buy order gets filled. Well, now you're in deep demand to sell stuff because you don't have any Bitcoin. And then when you sell too much stuff and you got too much Bitcoin, now you're in demand to buy stuff. So that's the thing that's important to recognize as well. But with the insane buy and sell orders, if you have a code last trade as an example of 20,000 Satoshi, then go wild and place a sell order at 90,000, 60,000, 500,000. 3 million. I don't care. Just big numbers. It happens. And especially if you're a long-term trader and you're only going to be on the computer a couple times a week or 3 times a month or barely hardly at all. Because at that stage, heck, even 100% gains is short-term for you. So you're looking for the big gains as it is anyway. And for the insane buy orders. And I think Ripple's a perfect one for me on it. I mean, crazy shit happens in the crypto trading game, so you might as well take advantage of it. It is, how many times have you seen one of those codes lose 60, 70, 80% down? It happens. XBY I've talked a lot about. Oh, it goes from like 200 and over 250 to 80, like 260 to 80. That's pretty down. That went down big, yeah. How about it going up to 750 back down to 250? Ooh, yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, now it's went to 250 to 1500. It might not top there, but oh, do you think it might lose 60, 70, 80%? Well, maybe not 80%, but 50, 60, 70% next time? Well, it's definitely possible. Crazy shit happens. Final one on this page. You are crazy to think this crypto market won't go crazy. $13,000 Bitcoin over a year. Or over a 350% gain in the next 8 months or so may sound crazy. Think about it. $13,000 Bitcoin in February next year. And Bitcoin is not as good as some of the other currencies. So put that into perspective. And I find it very easy to outperform this Bitcoin market right now. And I know other people are as well. So how much more crazy is it to be able to have the opportunity to take Bitcoins that are going to go up over 300? I can't say they're going to, but just assume they go to 13,000, of course. To go up 300% while you increase them yourself by holding and selling cryptos and day trading and weekly trading. To me, it seems even more crazy. Other coins will outperform, and more crazy you can outperform that via trading. It has been crazy so far, and why will that stop in the near term? Because there's been a lot of these gains. Nothing to stop it right now. It's been crazy. Let's continue on further. How many mistakes have you been making? Do you notice you make less mistakes than you did before? And what great decisions have you made that have worked out great or shitty for you? I guess, what decisions have you made great? What decisions have you made that have worked out great or really, really bad? And have you learned from such so that you avoid the worst of the mistakes and get the great spots, the most of it, in the future? Because when you have mistakes happen, the old George Bush translator thing on changing, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, well, you can't fool me a second time because it ain't gonna happen, kind of deal. And that's really what you need to have your mind set on when you have something where you just totally fucked up, or it was like, oh my God, why did I do that? Don't do that again. Just don't do that again. Literally, it's simple. Just don't do it again. It's the easiest way not to do it. But to not do it again, understand what you did and be conscious of it and be like, okay. So I realized that I shouldn't be buying something and using the sell bar to push the buy in because I just accidentally sold at a damn near shitty price, and I can't be doing that. That's a mistake. How many times have you try to buy and then you buy the sell button, or vice versa? I've done that a couple times. I don't make that mistake anymore though. And also the past is the past. Who gives a shit if you could have bought a certain token at a certain price back then, or how much you are down in this code, or how great your previous trades or gains have been? You know what? It's always about the now and set up and set up for the future as you learn from the past as well. Use past historical data to help how the present and future present itself, but you're using the past data and what you know from your experience to help you for the now and the future. But don't relish and be so, so you did well. You made a big gain. Oh, you profited on XBY so well or whatever. Who cares? You did it. It's done. Whatever. So be it. Oh, you know what? That play was a bad loser there. Yeah, you know what? So be it. It happens. But where are you now within your portfolio and your situation? And what can you do to make things better so that you can have a 1.75% up day instead of a 1.4% up day, or you can have a 5% up day instead of a 3% up day? Because it's always about improving it on a day-to-day basis. In charts, maybe history of where you were matters. But when you are looking at your portfolio balance chart, that has absolutely no relevance whatsoever. If you can keep yourself in good focus and in good standing, then you can keep a good uptrend consistently going for a consistently good period of time. Because price memory does exist in stocks, but not as far as a day-to-day trading situation is concerned. Final paragraph on this page. Always adjust and understand to the message of the market that in situation that's in place. When you recognize the situation, you are able to then decide outcomes that relate to such, and how as a trader you can best position yourself to ensure your portfolio is going to grow at the highest level you can imagine. You're looking at a possible code. You might want in, you might want out, you might want to stick a buy order somewhere. Oh, here's a situation where this resistance level got broke at 750. It went to 9, back down to 750. It's went back up. Now it's at 930. I see an easy price target at 1180. What's the situation and what's the best position? We've already said the situation. It's at 930 with a good shot at going to 1180, because with these cryptos, they break key resistance. You know, they always go to those points. So now what can I do? Well, I can buy and I can put a sell order in for that level. Yeah, let's do that decision. So that's understanding a situation and then execution of that situation to your best advantage. And you can always do better. I'm very critical of myself all the time, maybe too much. And when I started this, I was hoping to make 1.5% ROI per day, knowing that number would be hard to achieve but extremely profitable. I knew 1% should be reachable in conservative fashion, and I spelt which wrong, but which has noticeable awesome gains. And 2% per day would be better than fantastic. Now, when I started late February. And if you look at so many cryptos, you'll see, oh, everything bottoms like February 28th, 27th, March 1st. Yeah. So when I looked at every chart, pretty much everything was in a bear market. My original concept was, oh, Bitcoin's kicking ass and it's my base currency. Oh, this is going to be fun day trading in a bear market and neutral market with these things. But I can do it. I know how. Of course, the message of the market changed for me. No. These alts are doing good. So I'm not looking to trade sideways in bear markets, although I know how. No, I'm not doing that now because I'd rather trade sick bull markets, which is what's been going on. So I thought I could make 1.5%, and I really figured 2 was going to be hard. Well, making south of 1.5% per day was how I started. And I was happy with my result, but very much unhappy with many decisions I made and profits I knew I lost out on. Bella, oh my goodness, I did so poorly on that. As far as what I could have done, I mean, I should have made a whole heck of a lot more than I did. PivX, same thing. So many other codes I should have done a lot better. Even XBY, I'm really not doing so well on. I mean, I should be making sicker profits. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. That's what I say to myself. But you know what? So be it. I mean, who cares about the past? But just keep focused and you work towards better gains. And why can I do better with XBY? Well, let's put it this way. Why didn't I sell a whole heck of a lot more at 1600 last time? I mean, I was like almost dead confident it was going to go down, and I was right. And all those resistances of the past, same story. I've been not aggressive enough and maybe too aggressive on my buybacks. Oh, I sell at 1500, yet I'm kind of eager to get back in at 1250. I mean, come on. I knew it was going to go 1,000 and lower. But you know what? You learn from it. And then from April the 1st to May the 12th, my average daily gain was 1.13% per day. And that's not Bitcoin gains. That's just how much more Bitcoins I make from my portfolio. So with one Bitcoin, I'd probably make 1.13% point per Bitcoin that day, kind of deal, on average. But from May the 13th to June the 17th, my average daily gain has risen to 3.87% per day, which totals to a 77-day sum at 2.45% per day. And I've changed my play and portfolio strategy. I've gotten to situations where I move from having a lot of Bitcoin to like 20%, 15% Bitcoin Problem with that, it was extremely hard to day trade because I didn't have any Bitcoins to trade with. So that didn't work out too well. Then I thought, why don't I just day trade one code extremely aggressively and then play the rest of it at a long term? And wow, that's been helping me. So 3.87% over a little over a month, or 34 or so days. I mean, mathematically, that's extremely phenomenal. Yet I know I could do better, though. And over 77 days, 2.45%. And in the stock market, people are so pumped. Oh my goodness, the Dow Jones. I mean, it never goes up 2.5% anymore, but this would assume they got some sort of stock like Adobe, or I don't know. It went up 2.45% per day. Yeah, okay, I'm making that every day. And that's what can happen within these cryptocurrency markets. And like I said, I'm still unhappy with my performance. I want to fix many of my mistakes I know I am still making today, as well as figure the stuff out that I know I should have figured out by now, because I figure a whole bunch of stuff out. And then when you focus on one chart on a day trading level, then you give yourself two things: one, extreme knowledge of the situation, and two, extreme volume to trade at. Win-win. So that's a strategy I implemented. Other codes, I mean, I'm a long-term trader. I'll check my accounts once a day and just barely check it. I mean, Dash, I'm in pretty nicely in Ethereum, and I go through that. I make these videos every day, and I do that because I enjoy it. It's profitable, both because I can get ad revenues from it, but it's profitable because it keeps me going on doing it, trying to be the Cal Ripken doing it every single day. But it also gives me the edge that I need, because if I do it every day, I'm looking at Dash and Litecoin every day, and it makes my gains really big, because I wonder if 4 to 5% per day is achievable. Because I know what can be done if you are damn good. And I know there's a lot of people that are kicking my ass as far as how good they are. And that's what motivates me to be a better trader. Because I know I can do better. And I know there's a whole decent amount, or a good amount of people anyway, that can actually beat my return of, we'll even say 2.45. Because the average 2.45 over 77 days, I think, is phenomenal. But I think it can be better. So I wanted to put out this video to help and to just talk about this. And I hope this finds it helpful for yourself, because I know there's a lot of people trying to make life-changing amounts of income on this. I started with a very tiny portfolio number, and I regret that now as well too, because I could have a whole whack more. But you know what though? I know that if I can start with that larger amount, then I'm going to do amazing. And if I could start with what I have now, I'm going to do amazing. So I feel I'm going to continue to do amazing. Take care and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.